I raced into the classroom just as the bell rang, nearly tripping over my feet in the process. I steadied myself on the doorframe and tried to play it off cool, but a few snickers and someone saying, "Good catch, Luna," told me I had been noticed. Turning a bright shade of crimson, I looked at the floor and walked to my desk and sat down. I opened my bag and pulled out my notebook, but when I went to grab my pen, nothing. No pen, no pencil, only my fingers brushing against the fabric of an empty bag. I looked around, gathering courage to ask someone if I could borrow a pen, but I was quickly distracted by who was walking in. Marik. My heart raced as I watched him enter the room with a casual indifference that seemed effortless and had a way of attracting the attention of every girl in class. I began looking through my bag again, forcing myself not to stare at him. A quiet ahem beside me interrupted my searching, and I was startled to find him standing beside me. "This seat taken?" he said in a casual voice, motioning to the empty desk beside mine. I squeaked out a shy no, and again felt the heat rising to my face. "Good," came his casual response as he slid into the empty seat. Pulling out his own pen and notebook, I resumed my fruitless search for a pen, not looking in his direction. He must have been watching me because only a few moments passed before I heard him say, "Looking for something?" I seem to have misplaced my pen," I said, looking up at him. He paused for a moment before holding his own out toward me. "Here, use mine. Don't you need it?" "No, I'm not much on note-taking." My fingers closed around the pen in his outstretched hand, briefly brushing against his own. I smiled at him as I said, "Thank you," and was rewarded with a gentle smile from him. Class began, and my mind was flooded with thoughts of him. Images of us walking hand in hand flooded my mind, and I found myself wondering what it would be like to be his. I sometimes felt like he was watching me, but anytime I looked over, his eyes were always elsewhere. The bell rang, signaling the end of class. I waited for the initial surge of students to exit before I stood to make my own exit into the hall and to the lunchroom. I was caught off guard to find Marik walking out with me. We walked in silence, heading in the same direction. I remembered that I had no more classes with him after lunch, and that I still had his pen. "Here's your pen. Thanks for letting me borrow it," I said as I offered his pen back. "You can keep it," he replied simply. As we neared the lunchroom, he abruptly said, "I have some things to do, so I'll see you in class tomorrow." "Oh, okay. See you then," I replied, hoping he didn't notice the disappointment in my voice. I watched him walk away, staring at the path he had taken long after he was out of sight. Shouldering my bag, I went my own way, hopeful I would see him tomorrow.